The day my parents got divorced, my mom wanted to take me with her. I clung desperately to my dad's leg, insisting I wanted to live with him. 6 months later, my dad coaxed, cried, and tricked me into going back to my mom. Turns out, instead of mentally exhausting yourself, it's better to drive others crazy. I'm crazy, I'm happy. In the second semester of my sophomore year, I moved back to my dad's place. Due to household registration reasons, I had to return to my home province for exams. So I transferred schools early to adjust. Although I've been living with my mom all these years, she never stopped me from keeping in touch with my dad, so I still go back to my dad's place during winter and summer vacations, mainly because I don't want them to live too comfortably, so I have to come back regularly to inspect. My dad personally came to the airport to pick me up, fussing over me the whole way. When we got home, the mistress, oh no, I mean my dad's second wife, she eagerly came downstairs to help me with my luggage. Anna, your school enrollment is all settled, just go register directly next Monday. After going upstairs, my half-sister was already waiting at the door. After all these years, my room is still kept intact. You think this is some heartwarming harmonious family reunion? No, because they know very well that if I'm unhappy, none of them will have it easy. When I was 5 years old, my parents got divorced. The reason was that while my mother was pregnant with me, my father couldn't stand the loneliness and fooled around, even having a child with someone else. His illegitimate daughter is 1 year younger than me. My mom found out and thought my dad was disgusting. Grandma had always been very satisfied with my mom as her daughter-in-law and didn't want her to get a divorce. When persuasion failed, she ended up beating my dad up. My mom said to me, Anna, you need to be a bit more selfish in life. Always prioritize your own happiness as the guiding principle. I thought to myself, Mom, this isn't something that needs to be taught. It can be inherited. Our family isn't wealthy or aristocratic, but we're comfortably well off, and my dad even runs a small factory. My mom wasn't interested in the factory, so she took her share of the savings, an apartment, and me, but on the day my mom was supposed to take me away, I absolutely refused to go with her, in a fit of anger. My mom went back to her hometown, El City, and abandoned me. To be honest, although my dad is unfaithful to his partner, he's still good to me. After all, I'm his own flesh and blood. My dad patted his chest and assured me, Anna, you'll always be Daddy's little princess. I'll never let you suffer or be unhappy. With tears in my eyes, I asked, Dad, really? Of course it's true, Dad. You said it yourself. For the first 2 months, our lives were relatively peaceful. My dad went to work. I went to school, and everything was fine, except there was one less person at home. 2 months later, he got married to that woman named Fiona and brought her home. Grandma thought it was shameful and didn't let them have a wedding. I looked at my sister, Lily, who had been brought along with me. She was hiding timidly behind her mother, as thin as a bean sprout. My dad comforted me. Your sister has had no one to take care of her all these years, and it's really pitiful. Dad wants to make it up to her, but don't worry, Anna, you're still Dad's favorite. I nodded and said, Dad, then let her leave. What? My dad clearly didn't expect me to say that. Since Dad loves me the most, then let her move out. I don't like her. Didn't you say you wouldn't make me unhappy? My father was left speechless by my words. Upon hearing this, Fiona burst into tears and said, if that's the case, then the two of us, mother and daughter, will move out together. No. Aunt Fiona must stay. I firmly refused. They don't understand again. My dad was very happy, thinking that I didn't reject Fiona, just couldn't accept having another sister yet, so he decided to let Lily move out for a while, to give me time to adjust. Of course, Fiona had to stay. Both mother and daughter have moved out, but they're still living in my father's house and spending his money. If my father keeps running over there every few days, he might easily forget which place is actually his home. From that day onward, I began my life of madness. Fiona also thought I wanted her to stay, so she tried hard to please me, hoping to bring Lily back sooner. Fiona made breakfast, but since there were only fried eggs on the table and no boiled eggs, I smashed the bowl. In the evening, because Fiona took the chicken drumstick from the plate, I smashed the plate again. In this house, no matter what Fiona does, I always have to make things difficult for her. When she eats, I add salt. She reads, I sing. She washes dishes, I pour oil. She mops the floor, I spit on it. My dad taught me, children should learn manners. I think it makes sense. I want to be a sensible and adorable child and take the initiative to improve my relationship with Fiona, to make Grandma accept her. I took her designer bag for Grandma to use when grocery shopping, worried she might trip while walking. I cut all her high heels into flats. For her birthday, I personally drew a painting as a gift for her. Sure enough, she held the paint-stained new dress, crying her eyes out, and I guessed she was moved by me. At first, she tried to please me, enduring everything. Later, she became afraid of me and didn't dare to speak much. In the end, she couldn't take it anymore and tearfully complained to my dad. My dad also thought I went too far and scolded me with a stern face. I nodded in understanding, got the message, and resolved to do better next time. Fiona wheedled and coaxed my dad into taking wedding photos with her, then hung them at home just to annoy me. The next day, I painted the white wedding dress pink. When my dad came to question me, I blinked my big, innocent eyes and asked, "Isn't the pink princess dress pretty?" My dad touched his recently frequent white hairs and picked up a broom to hit me. I cried out in pain, running away while wailing loudly enough to shake the heavens. The neighbors could no longer stay silent and all extended a helping hand. He dropped the broom and had to give up. I hid in the arms of Aunt Fiona, our neighbor, crying and calling for my mother. "You think that's the end of it?" "No, it's not over yet." I called my grandma and cried my heart out to her, and she rushed over at top speed on her three-wheeler. She grabbed Fiona's big wavy hair in her hand, cursing her as a homewrecker. In the end, she picked up the broom my dad used to hit me and whacked him on the butt with it. Almost forgot about my dad. If Fiona was having a hard time, he wasn't going to have it easy either. At midnight, I went to my dad's door, shouting and kicking, "Dad." My dad suppressed his anger and came out to ask what was wrong. I said, "I'm hungry." At 1 in the morning, I kicked the door open again. "Dad, what now?" "I'm thirsty." 2 a.m. "Dad." My dad was furious. "Anna, this better be important, or I swear I'll smack you." "Nothing, just wanted to check if you were asleep." At 3 a.m., I knocked on the door again. My dad yelled furiously, "Already asleep? Me? Wake up first, then go back to sleep. Fiona is going crazy." After I knocked on my dad's door for the nth time in the middle of the night, we both stood there with matching dark circles under our eyes, speechless. My dad had also lost it. He asked, "Do you miss your mom? Should I take you to see her?" "I do." Blame it on me being too young back then, unaware of the cruelty in the world. My dad dropped me off and ran away alone. My mom looked at me and sighed. "All right, I know you're trying to upset him, but there's no need. Just focus on being happy yourself." She lay leisurely on the sofa, wearing a face mask. "Me, seeing them suffer makes me happy." She sneered. "Fine, if we can't make him miserable, then we'll spend his money like crazy." I thought that made sense. From elementary school to high school, I never asked my mom for a single cent. The school tuition is due, so I asked my dad for money. My allowance ran out, so I asked my dad for money. My meal card has no balance left, so I asked my dad for money. Actually, my mom could easily cover these expenses, but every penny I spend of his makes me a little happier. I went to summer camp and borrowed a classmate's phone to call my dad in the middle of it. "Hello, who is this?" "Dad, it's me, Anna. Did you change your phone number?" "No, my phone ran out of credit. Can you top it up for me?" "Dad, I'm at a summer camp, and my phone has no credit. What if I'm in danger?" All right, I'll top it up for you. Top up a bit more." It's no exaggeration to say that every pack of spicy strips I bought at the school snack shop was paid for with my dad's money. During the summer vacation of my first year in junior high, I went to stay with my dad for a few days to check on how they were doing. When I got home, I found that my room had been taken over by Lily. Fiona explained, "Lily's room is too small and doesn't get much light, so I had you two switch. After all, you won't be staying for more than a few days." I turned to look at my dad, and he seemed to think the arrangement was quite reasonable. "Dad, I don't like this arrangement. That's my room." My dad frowned, scolding me for being unreasonable. "Anna, be more understanding. Aunt Fiona makes a good point. You're only staying for a few days anyway." I naturally won't compromise. "Dad, but I'm really unhappy right now. What should I do?" My dad wants to play the peacemaker. Not offending either side, he looked at Lily and said, "Lily, your sister will leave in a few days. You can stay in the small room first and move back after she's gone." Lily obediently agreed. After all, she only needed to endure for a few more days. But I wasn't happy. "Dad, now that you have a little sister, you don't want me anymore, is that it? Because we have a little sister now, I have to give up everything for her, is that it? Since I don't live here often, this isn't my home anymore, is it? Then if I don't live with you, you don't want to be my dad anymore either. My rapid-fire questions and moral accusations left my father flustered. Anna, what are you saying? This will always be your home, and I'll always love you. Fiona stepped in to mediate. Anna, we just thought since this room has been empty all this time, it'd be a waste not to use it. I nodded in understanding. I see, Auntie. Then I'll move back permanently from now on. So the room won't be empty anymore. Fiona's expression froze. Her eyes filled with clear rejection. Lily, don't fight with your sister, move back immediately. Fiona can't stand me but can't do anything about it. If I really move back, the one who'll suffer can only be her. Of course, she hasn't been without resistance either. I'm allergic to peanuts. Once, Fiona deliberately put a dish mixed with peanut butter into my bowl. I smiled and dumped the entire bowl of rice over her head. If there's a next time, I'll smash it right in your face. She didn't dare to have a next time, because I would really smash it in her face. In life, the most important thing is, of course, your own comfort. Now, I've moved back again for the college entrance exams. Lily looked at my big room with envy, then glared at me. I smiled indifferently. Over the years, while I've been dedicated to making Fiona's life difficult, I haven't given Lily much trouble, mainly because I hardly see her a few times a year, so there's no chance for conflicts to arise. Besides, she's been fighting for just one room for so many years and still hasn't gotten it. With that level of intelligence, she's not even worth my effort to deal with. As long as she doesn't provoke me, I can simply ignore her. Living with my dad, there's no other feeling. It's all about happiness. At dinner, Lily flatteringly placed a lion's head meatball in my bowl. Sister, don't stand on ceremony, make yourself at home. My face darkened as I slammed my chopsticks on the table with a smack and pushed the bowl away, ruining my mood on the very first day. Who's your sister? Lily before me had tears in her eyes, looking utterly pitiful. I was just worried that sister might feel uncomfortable and hesitate to serve herself. I didn't speak, silently glancing at my father. There are no masterful green tea bitches, only men who fail to act. This applies not just to love, but to family bonds as well. My dad, unnerved by my stare, shot Lily a glare. This is your sister's own home. Why should she stand on ceremony? Just mind your own business. Seeing his response, I picked up my bowl with satisfaction and started eating. After the meal, my dad went to the study to work, while Fiona avoided me and retreated to her bedroom. Left alone, I happily enjoyed the peace and quiet while watching TV in the living room. Midway through, I felt something was missing. I rummaged through the fridge, took out some cherries, and was about to wash them. Lily inopportunely leaned in. Mom bought that for me. I rolled my eyes and tossed the fruit to her. Then you wash them and bring them back when you're done. You what? Getting so possessive over a few cherries. If you don't go now, believe me, I'll smack you. She seemed to remember something and reluctantly went to the kitchen to wash the fruit. She was genuinely scared because I had actually hit her before. Back then, I was still a weak middle school student. While I was away, Lily sneaked into my room and tore up my summer homework, which I had already finished entirely. What does a vacation mean to a middle schooler? What does summer homework mean? What does completed summer homework mean? I pinned her to the ground, kicking with both feet, grabbing with both hands, biting with my mouth. I didn't spare a single part of her body. I was so wild that even my dad couldn't pull me away. In the end, Lily pieced together the fragments of my homework bit by bit. For the rest of the holiday, I made her copy the homework 3 times. My mom was very attentive to my education and never allowed me to leave my homework until the last 2 days of the holiday, so I never understood how my classmates managed to finish all their homework in just 2 days. Seeing Lily made me realize that human potential is limitless. It's a pity that I'm no longer a child now, unable to go wild and crazy like before under the excuse of being young. On Monday, my dad drove both Lily and me to school. I took out my phone and asked him for living expenses and pocket money. This is my happiest moment. How much? He never hesitated when giving me money. Same as before, $3,000. After starting high school, apart from the regular tuition fees, I asked him for $3,000 every month, and back then, he gave it to me quite readily. After all, compared to raising me himself, giving money was much less trouble. He wasn't happy, we have everything at home, what's the point of having so much? Lily only gets $1,000 a month. I didn't care at all. Oh, so you're giving her $3,000 too? Lily quickly shook her head and said sensibly, no need, Dad, I don't need that much. Just as my dad looked pleased, I raised my voice and said, see, she doesn't want it. So just give me her share. Lily couldn't hold back anymore. Looking at me in disbelief, what do you mean, you're the one who refused it? Could it be you were just pretending to be polite earlier? In the end, my dad still sent me $3,000. Forget it, you just got back. See if you're missing anything and buy it yourself. I raised my phone and waved the transfer page in front of Lily. She clearly wanted it but forced herself to suppress her desire, pretending to be obedient, sensible, and putting on an act. My dad paying for Lily's expenses is inevitable. Whether he treats us equally or not doesn't matter to me, but if my share gets reduced, I'll smash his bowl. Dad gives you $3,000 every month. Lily seemed surprised by this. None of your damn business. How can you still ask Dad for money? Your mom already took so much when they got divorced. Isn't that enough for you two to spend? Her tone was urgent, as if I had stolen something from her. Lily, if you mention my mom again, I swear I'll slap you. She shrank her neck in fear, then straightened her back again. Did I say something wrong? Doesn't your mom give you money? You're already divorced and still asking your dad for money? I sneered. First, he's my dad, biological, born within marriage, legally recognized. Second, are you sure you want me to publicize Fiona's identity in this kind of setting? My dad cheated. Unforgivable. But Fiona, knowing he was married, still meddled in someone else's family. She's no saint either. Lily was left speechless by my retort and stormed into the school gate in a huff. Although Lily only has $1,000 in living expenses each month, she can go home for meals, and her clothes, shoes, and daily stationery are all intangible expenses. Is $3,000 too much to ask for? No, it's not. In our second year of high school, everyone was busy studying, and no one was overly curious about a transfer student. Lily and I weren't in the same school building, which was just as well. Seeing her would have been awkward. Having money in my pocket and not spending it isn't my style. When Fiona saw my $1,000 dress, her eyes nearly popped out of her head. Many students nowadays love dress, and I'm no exception, although it's not very practical to wear daily. Just hanging it in the room is a feast for the eyes. Fiona didn't look too pleased. Anna, this outfit is so expensive and impractical. Your dad doesn't earn money easily. I smiled faintly, having recently learned the script of a wicked mother-in-law. If Dad doesn't earn money easily, why don't you go out and find a job? Staying home enjoying life every day, eating Dad's food, using Dad's things, spending Dad's money, buying useless stuff. Look at all your skincare products. One sheet mask is so expensive. A set of toner and lotion could buy my dad how many packs of cigarettes, no matter how much money you have. It's never enough for your spending. Being lazy and indulgent is one thing, but you can't even bear a son. You're truly useless. Are you deliberately trying to cut off the song Family line? After that whole speech, I had to admire my own acting skills. The last sentence hit Fiona's sore spot. For the past few years, she had been trying to have a son with my dad, but whether it was due to her age or my dad's declining health, she never managed to get pregnant. When my dad came home from work, Lily, with red-rimmed eyes, went up to him to complain. Dad, you gave my sister so much money to help her live better, but she spent it all on clothes. That's just too extravagant. A single piece of clothing costs over $1,000. Clearly a luxury brand. You've always taught me not to be vain. I believe my sister didn't do it on purpose. She probably saw other classmates buying things and couldn't resist her competitive urge. My dad also looked disapproving after hearing this. Anna, the money I gave you wasn't for you to squander. How could you develop such a bad habit? I suddenly felt motivated. I hadn't had a chance to use the new PUA script I'd learned yet. I pointed to Lily's room. Dad, Lily has so many clothes, all bought with your money, right? In all these years, have you ever bought me a single piece of clothing? My dad frowned and said helplessly, but didn't I give you money too? I nodded. Exactly. Dad buys clothes for my sister but can't buy them for me. I ask you for money to buy clothes myself. Is that not allowed either? His tone softened considerably. That may be true, but it's okay, Dad. You can buy clothes for my sister, I can buy my own. My sister has meals carefully prepared by you and Mom, but I can also eat well on my own outside. Dad gives my sister care and companionship, but only cold money to me. Still, I believe Dad loves me. Everyone was swayed by my logic. My dad looked conflicted. As if he thought I made sense but didn't want to admit it, I stepped forward and patted his shoulder, letting out a sigh of earnest advice. Dad, I understand you have to take care of my sister and that you've neglected me. I can take care of myself. Don't worry, your daughter doesn't blame you. Not long after the new semester began, the school was going to hold a parent-teacher meeting. My dad has always maintained his good father persona. And he never misses a parent-teacher meeting. Otherwise, how would he keep up the act? But my dad looked at the notice in his hand, deeply troubled, because he has 2 daughters. Lily, Dad, you attended the last parent-teacher meeting and gave such an impressive speech on stage that everyone applauded. If you don't go this time, my classmates will talk about me. My dad thought it over carefully and found her argument convincing. Anna, why don't you let Aunt Fiona accompany you? Before he could finish speaking, I interrupted him with a scoff. Dad, pretending to be oblivious won't work for some things. Don't try to brush it off. I dislike and even detest Fiona. This is such an obvious fact that everyone knows. And my dad certainly isn't unaware of it. He's deliberately muddying the waters here to maintain superficial harmony, but I'm not willing to play along. My dad's intentions were exposed by me, and he couldn't hide his embarrassment. Lily looked hurt and said weakly, Sister, Mom went out of her way to attend the parent-teacher meeting for you. How could you be so unfeeling? Great, here comes another one trying to put on a show with me. I glanced at her and said bluntly, First, there's no affection between us. Let me emphasize again, I dislike her, and I dislike her intensely. Second, my dad, my real dad, is alive and well here. Why should I let someone completely unrelated attend my parent-teacher meeting? Third, that's your mom, not mine. If your own mom goes to your meeting, what will your classmates say about you? Lily couldn't out-reason me, nor could she out-argue me. Her eyes instantly reddened, and she resorted to acting unreasonable. I just wanted Dad to attend my parent-teacher meeting. What's wrong with that? Sister is Dad's daughter, but am I not his daughter too? I'm getting a headache listening to this and can't be bothered to argue with her. I turned to look at my dad. No matter how much Lily made a scene, what I really wanted to know was my dad's stance. Dad, what do you think we should do? My dad looked annoyed and casually tossed the notice aside. I have work that day, so I won't be going. To avoid offending either side, he chose to keep his head down. Lily said helplessly, but the teacher said parents must attend. Fiona quickly comforted her. It's okay, Lily, Mom will go with you. No wonder they say Fiona has no brains. My dad was originally trying to be fair to everyone, but she just had to go and ruin it. Sure enough, my dad glanced at the 2 of them, all loving mother and dutiful daughter, then looked at me, his expression conflicted. He couldn't possibly ask my mom to come all the way back, could he? Sigh, Mom's not here. Dad doesn't love me, poor child, no one to care for you. I sighed dramatically to the heavens while keeping an eye on my father's increasingly darkening expression. All right, I'll go with you. He waved his hand impatiently. TCH, why didn't you just say so earlier? Lily stared at me in disbelief. What do you mean, you go find your mom. I'll find my dad. Don't push your mom onto me anymore. I have my own mom, although my dad agreed to attend the parent-teacher meeting. He still expressed his dissatisfaction with me in private. It's just a parent-teacher meeting. Why make such a fuss at home? I'm already exhausted from work during the day. When I come home, I just want some peace and quiet, not to settle disputes between you. No matter what, Lily is still your biological sister. So many years have passed. Do you really have to keep opposing her and her mother? Looking at this man who shares my bloodline, I still felt somewhat downhearted. Dad, I'm in my 2nd year of high school now. Counting carefully, you only have 2 more chances to attend parent-teacher meetings with me, from elementary to middle school and now high school. Every time you attended Lily's parent-teacher meetings, did you ever think of me? In elementary school, the school held a sports day that required parents to participate, while other classmates' families worked together to complete the events. Only my mom was by my side. I repeatedly beat up the kids who mocked me for not having a dad, but in the end, it was always my mom who had to clean up the mess for me. My dad was about to lecture me, but he was left speechless by my question. Dad, actually, I'm really upset. I wanted you to attend my parent-teacher meeting, But you thought I was deliberately opposing Lily, leaving my dad's study. A long-lost sense of frustration welled up inside me. After being crazy for so long, suddenly getting sentimental feels really unfamiliar. My mom said that the principle of life is to prioritize your own happiness. Even when you're suffering, don't suffer alone. So, I walked to the living room, saw Lily watching TV, and decisively pulled the plug. She immediately snapped, "What the hell are you doing? I'm happy. Just a parent-teacher meeting." I didn't expect Lily to care so much. Suddenly, a few people at school started spreading rumors that I stole someone else's father. Not that I heard any rumors. High school students are too busy to gossip about others' affairs, but those so-called few people directly blocked me at school. 2 girls and 2 boys walked up to me with an arrogant swagger, unzipping their jackets in unison, taking off their school uniforms, and the boys even removed their caps. Their movements were perfectly synchronized. What were they planning to do? "So you're the one who made our Lily unhappy. Why ruin someone else's happy family and steal their father at such a young age?" Under their school uniform jackets, they wore colorful, oddly shaped clothes with a few small metal rings hanging from them. The 2 boys had their hair permed with foil, and there was a faint smell of smoke on them. The girls' hair color was strange, probably dyed yellow at first, then for some reason dyed back to black. "What are you staring at? I'm talking to you," one of them shouted at me. I was also curious about them. "Our school has strict security, and the walls are high. How did you guys get in?" They replied confidently, "We're students from No. 6 High School." I nodded. "Oh, from No. 6 High School. That makes things easier." I helplessly glanced around, then waved my hand and shouted, "Teacher, someone here is wearing strange clothes, has permed and dyed hair, and is even wearing makeup. Shouldn't that deduct points?" A few people panicked, threw on their school uniforms and caps, and bolted. Hilarious. With that little courage, they still tried to act like tough guys in society. There wasn't a single patrolling teacher nearby, but that didn't stop me from reporting them. The Education Bureau was coming for inspections soon, and the school had been cracking down hard on discipline and dress code. They not only wore bizarre outfits but also threatened and intimidated their classmates. Those few individuals clearly had frequent disciplinary issues, making them easy targets for school investigations. I not only reported it to the school but also called my dad, telling him I was being threatened and intimidated. In the end, my dad, the teacher, Lily, and the little blonde guy all gathered in the office. Lily wasn't really close with them, she just paid them a bit to scare me. Those guys weren't actual delinquents, just a bunch of edgy, vain high schoolers going through their rebellious phase. Even getting a demerit would scare them half to death. In the end, Lily and those guys were punished with writing self-criticism essays and cleaning the toilets, while my dad got a stern lecture from the teacher. On the way home, I flashed my dad a bright smile and shouted, "Godfather, my dad, what's gotten into you?" I sneered. "Those people said I stole Lily's dad. Should I start calling you Godfather from now on?" His face darkened. "What nonsense are you spouting, child? Wasn't me who said it. Wonder who put those little punks up to it," I said sarcastically. Lily never expected things to escalate so badly and had already burst into tears out of fear, sniffling as she followed behind. "Anna, you, what about me? You accuse me of breaking up a family, but who really? Enough, stop talking, you're always stirring up trouble." My dad quickly cut me off, afraid I'd expose his shameful affair with Fiona. "What do you suggest we do then, Godfather?" Upon returning home, Lily threw herself into Fiona's arms, crying with a look of grievance. "What's wrong, Lily? Who bullied you?" My father frowned deeply and shouted, "Who could possibly bully her? This is the fine child you've raised." I stood by watching, inwardly marveling at how skillfully my dad had shifted the blame, raising a child together. Yet he managed to dodge responsibility so effortlessly. He married twice. Yet he was never a good husband to either wife. But this has nothing to do with me. I can sympathize with any woman, except Fiona. Even after learning the full story, Fiona still stood by Lily. It's impossible, absolutely impossible. Lily couldn't have done such a thing. She must have been tricked by someone, my father angrily said. The school has already called the parents, and the teacher has issued a punishment. And you still say it's impossible. I'm the only one earning money to support this family, and you can't even take care of a child properly. Fiona still tried to smooth things over. After all, nothing serious happened to Anna, and a few kids couldn't have done much anyway. Lily suddenly pointed at me and cried out, "It's all your fault." I was completely baffled while watching the drama unfold. "You guys argue among yourselves. Don't drag me into it. I'm the victim here." Lily wouldn't let it go. "Dad, it's all her fault. Every time she comes here on vacation, doesn't she turn our home upside down? When she's not around, our family life is so perfect. You'd bring me gifts after work, Mom would have dinner ready in advance, and we'd go out together on weekends. We never used to fight. Why does my life turn so miserable the moment Anna appears?" She must have been holding these words back for a long time, and now that they were all shouted out, the entire living room fell into complete silence. These words seemed to make sense, yet they made no sense at all. If it were before, I could have used my young age as an excuse to retaliate in the most direct way. I can hit her, pin her to the ground, pull her hair, pinch and bite her, but now that I'm almost an adult, if I lay a hand on her, I'll be the one in the wrong. "Godfather," I called softly, signaling him to handle this matter. "Lily, apologize to your sister." The other person stiffened their neck and remained silent. I stepped forward, looking down at her with a dark expression. "Apologize? I'm telling you to apologize. Say you were wrong. You shouldn't have said that just now." She trembled and spoke in a shaky voice. "I was wrong. Shouldn't have said that just now. I might need to remind you that it was your mother who lacked decency and destroyed my family, which led to your birth. Do you understand?" I turned to look at Bob Smith. "Dad, was today's incident my fault?" My father seemed a bit guilty. "It wasn't your fault. Since it wasn't my fault, I hope you can give me a satisfactory outcome." Finally, I glared at Fiona. "If you don't control your daughter, do you believe I'll find a fourth wife for my dad?" I walked out alone, leaving the house in complete disarray. I had lost control of my emotions earlier. Lily's words had truly stung me, perhaps because the happy life she described was originally meant to be mine. All these years, I deliberately came back often to make trouble for them. Looking back now, it seems both childish and ridiculous. I looked sadly at the balance in my WeChat and decided to spend some money to cheer myself up. In the evening, my dad specifically took me out for dinner to report his handling of the situation. "Anna, this was Lily's fault. I've confiscated her allowance for 6 months." I nodded. "Using money to bribe others to threaten me. Seems like she still has too much to spare." My dad smiled awkwardly. "I punished her by making her write a self-criticism." "Right. The teacher also asked her to write one. Check it to make sure she doesn't submit the same draft multiple times. You'll soon be in your final year of high school. Dad was thinking that your constant arguments might affect your studies." He looked at me, hesitating to continue. "Dad, I'm moving out." I finished his sentence for him. Moving out doesn't mean I'm compromising. It's a decision I made after thinking it over all afternoon. I originally came back just for the college entrance exams, and I really shouldn't be wasting my energy on these things. Continuing to cause trouble for them doesn't make much sense anyway. It's better to fight for more benefits for myself. My dad instantly let out a sigh of relief, then nervously explained to me, "Anna, I'm not kicking you out. After your exams, you can come home whenever you want." Looking at his expression, I almost wanted to laugh. "Dad, the truth is who's right or wrong doesn't matter to you at all. What you want is for none of us to cause trouble, or rather, not to bother you." Surprisingly, he didn't even deny it. "I do want some peace and quiet. I don't want to come home every day to a mess of problems." I sneered. "All irresponsible scumbags are like this." "We still have another apartment, quite close to your school. It's fully furnished. Just buy whatever else you need. I'll hire a housekeeper to clean and cook for you," he explained in detail, believing he was making the most secure decision. "Dad, moving out is fine, but I have conditions. Just say it. Money isn't an issue. I'll even increase your allowance a bit." I shook my head lightly. "I'll compromise and give you a peaceful life in return. As compensation, transfer this property to me." He agreed without hesitation. "Don't tell your sister about this, perhaps out of guilt. Or maybe just to get rid of me quickly." Before moving out, I told my dad I didn't want that room anymore. Lily could have it if she wanted. Actually, moving out is quite nice. No need to see people I dislike every day, avoiding the annoyance. It's very close to the school, so I can sleep in a bit more in the morning. No worries about food and drinks, and someone else handles the cleaning. Fiona has been a housewife for so many years, yet they never hired a maid. I swear, I'm definitely not this happy just because I got a house. Lily ran into me at school and started showing off, even though I was the one who did wrong. you're still the one moving out. At least she knows she did something wrong. Congratulations to her. The big room you've been obsessing over and hogging for so long now belongs to me. Oh my. How I wanted to tell her that I got a house for free, but I couldn't. I sneered. Have you forgotten how you were sent away right after entering the family as a child? So what? Now it's you who's being kicked out. Mom, Dad, and I are the real family. She gloated. I nodded, glanced at the classmates strolling on the playground, and raised my voice. Even if your mom successfully stole someone else's husband, you shouldn't flaunt it in my face like this, right? Shut up. Her face turned pale with urgency. I rolled my eyes, getting worked up already. How boring, Lily. I can't be bothered to argue with you. From now on, when you see me at school, do me a favor and walk the other way. If you dare approach me again, anytime, anywhere, I'll greet you with those same words. Lily refused to back down. The next day in the cafeteria, she sat down in front of me with a bowl of hot and sour noodles. I shouted loudly, "Your mom is a homewrecker." She ran away, even leaving her noodles behind. On the third day, she approached me again, just as our homeroom teacher was standing right beside me. "Your mom is a..." Before I could finish my sentence, she was gone. The homeroom teacher gently asked me, "Student Song, what were you just shouting about?" I explained, "It's nothing, teacher, I was just saying, her mom is a woman who's living quite comfortably." From then on, I never saw her again at No. 6 high school. Indeed, acting crazy works wonders. Ever since I lowered my standards, my mental state has become much more stable. During summer vacation, I originally planned to return to L City to stay with my mom, but in the end, my mom came to see me instead. "I knew your damn father couldn't be relied on. I'll stay here with you until you finish your senior year of high school before going back." I sighed helplessly. "What about the shop's business? You're just going to leave it? What's so special about the shop?" "I'll check the accounts from time to time. If anything really comes up, I can always go back and handle it." I deeply admired my mother's attitude toward life. Although she had been instilling her philosophy in me since childhood, I still hadn't grasped the essence of it. Be happy. After my mom got divorced, she opened a dessert shop, which keeps her fairly relaxed. In her free time, she gets beauty treatments and dances with friends. If she wants to travel to Sea City on Wednesday, she starts planning on Thursday and arrives at her destination by Saturday. She came here with a problem: where to stay. Even though my dad gave me the house, my mom absolutely refused to move in, finding it disgusting, so my mom rented the apartment across the hall instead. Reliable, yet so unreliable. The absurd thing was, on the day my dad came to visit me, he ran into my mom. I came back from my morning jog carrying breakfast, only to witness a bizarre scene. My dad was standing at my door, while my mom stood at the opposite door. When she saw me return, my mom took her portion of breakfast, turned around, and went back into her home, shutting the door heartlessly behind her. I walked through another door with my dad. I set the breakfast on the table. "Dad, do you want some?" "You eat. I'm not hungry." I took a sip of the porridge. "That's good. I didn't buy any for you either." My dad rubbed his hands together awkwardly and said, "When did your mom come?" "Right at the start of summer vacation. It's good that she's here to take care of you. Just have her move in with you. Renting another place is such a hassle." "Goodbye. She finds you disgusting." My father sighed. "She's still the same as before. Hasn't changed much." I nodded in agreement. "True, you're aging faster than her." I took a bite of the bun and noticed the dark circles under his eyes. Curious, I asked, "What's wrong? Can't even sleep peacefully in your comfortable life now?" He frowned. "Aunt Fiona found out about the house and has been making a scene." I sneered. "Wasn't she supposed to be gentle and considerate, always going along with you? How dare she make trouble for you?" My father fell silent at once. "So what are you planning to do? Transfer the house to her again? If he dares to agree, forget calling him godfather. I'll immediately start calling him uncle." "Don't say that, since I've given it to you. It's yours, when you get married in the future. No one will look down on you, even if things don't go well. You'll have some security after a divorce." I couldn't stand his tone. "All right, enough with the sentimentality. You sound like you're giving last words. I'm just worried Aunt Fiona might cause trouble for you. At least now, with your mom watching over you, it's better." I always feel a sense of helplessness whenever I face my dad. He gives me this mixed feeling of being both selfish and loving. He cheated on his marriage and was unfaithful, yet he turns around and worries that I might end up with the wrong person in the future. Dad, eat less meat, cut down on greasy food, and exercise more in the future. Fiona would prepare hearty meals for him but never reminded him to take care of his health. You don't have to worry about being left uncared for in old age. You spent money raising me, so naturally, I'll take care of you when you're old. My dad's warning wasn't unfounded. Fiona came looking for me while I was at my mom's place, and my mom happened to be out. She was banging on the door so loudly that I could hear it from inside the room. What's the matter? I suddenly opened the door and appeared behind her. She was clearly startled by me, glanced back at me, then at the door number, and hesitated for a moment. Did you buy this apartment? She asked me bluntly, dropping her usual gentle and demure act. None of your business. I secretly called my dad to come and take the person away. Maybe it's intuition, but I've always felt that Fiona isn't someone to mess with. Although Lily always picks on me, it's all just petty stuff, nothing to worry about. Fiona managed to have a child without my dad's permission, kept it hidden from my mom for so many years, and still ended up successfully marrying my dad. Clearly, she's not simple. Your dad is already divorced from your mom. Why are you still haunting us like this? All these things will belong to Lily in the future. I didn't feel like arguing with her further. Just as I was about to close the door, she suddenly stuck her hand in the door gap. I was so startled that I quickly pushed the door open. Are you crazy? Yes, I'm crazy. I've slaved away serving him all these years. And what does he do? He leaves everything to you, you little bitch. Only now do I find out he's been secretly sending you money all this time, even supporting you. Why? Just tell me why. I've been hiding away for so many years, finally got married to him, and endured everything while taking care of him. I've suffered so much disdain from others. How dare he give all this to you? At that moment, a fitting line from the TV drama playing in the living room happened to drift over. If you steal someone else's husband, you'd better serve him on your knees till the end. Hearing these words, she went completely berserk, lunging at me and pinning me to the ground, choking me with her hands around my neck. She screamed, "Do you have any idea how long I've endured you? I've put up with you for over a decade. If I had known it would turn out like this. Why did I ever follow that song guy in the first place? Why did I put up with you for so many years?" Suddenly, my mom appeared behind her, swung the soy sauce bottle in her hand at her head, and then kicked her in the butt. Fiona fell to the ground. My mom grabbed me and dragged me, still dazed, inside, then immediately called the police. By the time my dad arrived, the police were already there. This matter wasn't originally considered a criminal case, but they found a knife on Fiona. I instantly felt a chill run through my body and couldn't help but shudder with fear. My mom told me to focus on my studies, as she would handle everything herself. My mom won't show any mercy, and my dad wouldn't dare to plead for leniency. Fiona is definitely going to spend a few years inside. After school started, I followed my routine life. My mother was very concerned about my studies, and under her arrangements, I had no mind to bother with those trivial matters. My father called me, but he never came to see me again. When there were only 2 months left before the college entrance exam, I learned that my father was hospitalized. I suddenly remembered his last words to me, which sounded like he was giving final instructions, but I never expected his illness to be so severe. Cardiovascular diseases can range from minor to serious. Normally, paying attention to diet should prevent major issues, but in severe cases, they can be life-threatening. My mom said he had been hospitalized for a while, but they kept it from me, afraid it would affect my exams. If you want to see him, go visit. After all, he's your dad. He lay on the hospital bed, unconscious, outside the ward. Lily lowered her head, quietly sobbing. You know, I've always been quite jealous of you. I know. Humph. What do you know? I'm a legitimate child, and you're a bastard. Isn't that enough to make you jealous? She forced a smile and surprisingly didn't refute it. Ever since I can remember, I realized I was different from others. My life only had my mother in it. My father was very busy and could only visit me occasionally, until one day, Mom happily told me that Dad was coming to take us home. Overjoyed, I arrived at a big house, only to be sent away again because of your casual remark. Later, I was brought back, and I was so happy that there were finally no others in this home, just me, Mom, and Dad. But I realized I was wrong. Anna, do you know? Although you always came during holidays to make me miserable, what hurt me the most wasn't that. it was the scornful looks from outsiders. Ever since I came to this home, the neighbors called my mom a seductress and me a bastard child. None of the kids nearby would play with me. Because of the label, illegitimate child, I was isolated by the whole class in middle school. I worked so hard to get into a relatively good high school where few people knew me, and then you showed up. After quietly listening to her vent, I gently asked, so what? So who can you blame, Lily? You can blame your birth mother for bringing you into this world, or you can blame the person lying in there for being irresponsible, but you certainly can't blame me. She smiled bitterly and said, but, why can you live so happily? Mom warned me to be sensible, to be obedient, to make dad like me. My classmates isolated me. I tried hard to fit in with them. I kept trying to please others. But it seems like no one likes me. Even dad seems to love you a little more. Why do you try to please others? I asked in confusion. What responded to me was a long silence. Bad news. My dad's factory went bankrupt. To be precise, it had been struggling for a long time, but he kept trying to keep it afloat. The good news is, he handled everything properly and didn't leave us with any debts. The house they currently live in, the family car, and all the machinery in the factory were used to settle the debts. My dad still has $500,000 in savings under his name. He had already made a will. $100,000 is allocated for my college education, and the rest is all left to Lily. He had arranged accommodation for Lily, thus settling both his daughters properly. My father passed away. It would be a lie to say I'm not sad, but I didn't cry my heart out either. There seemed to be very few things in my life that absolutely required my father's involvement, except when I needed to ask him for money. Was it because he was too pitiful, or was I too cold-blooded? However, these things didn't affect my studies. The college entrance exam went smoothly, and I just had to wait for the scores to come out so I could apply to a university in City L and go home with my mom. Before leaving, I cleaned up the house and let Lily move in. Sis, don't call me sister. I hate Fiona, and I won't like you either. I handed her the key. Don't contact me for the rest of your life. I'll only let you stay for 1 year. Once you finish your college entrance exams, I'll sell the house, and you'll have to move out by then. Understood. Thank you. Leaving with my mom, I didn't feel particularly reluctant about this place. Later, life without a father seemed no different from before, only occasionally, when seeing a family of 3 by the roadside. There was still a hint of sadness in my heart, but it quickly faded away. In this fleeting life, one must strive to be happy. After hearing the story above, what are your thoughts? Feel free to share your opinions in the comments section. Looking forward to hearing from you. If you liked this story, don't forget to like it, share it, and subscribe to my channel. See you next time.